Today we're going to talk about a very important, even indispensable item when you go to upholster, and that is batting. Batting is soft, fluffy layer. Obviously you have batting up in your attic to help insulate, and it's soft and it's fluffy. So you hope that there's something underneath the rafters so you don't fall through. Anyway, basically in upholstery there's really mainly two types of batting. There's cotton batting, as you can see here. This is what they do with the short staple cotton that they can't make clothing out of. They make batting out of. Very soft, and it's what is used traditionally. The other type of batting is called polyester batting. The DuPont brand name, sometimes people refer to it as Dacron batting, but technically it should be called polyester batting. Now, both of these products are sold here at Fabric Farms Interiors. The cotton batting is 27 inches wide, and the polyester batting is 30 inches wide. They're both about the same thickness, and they sell for the same price. Here's a roll of our Dacron batting. It comes in a 16-yard roll, and again, it's 30 inches wide. That's the polyester batting. Just mention the benefits of each. A lot of people do like the traditional cotton batting. It is very soft, and it has a certain feel. Probably feels a little bit different than the polyester batting. But 90% of what we sell, at least, is the polyester, or sometimes called Dacron batting. The advantage of it is that you can see it stays nicely in a sheet. It doesn't fall apart so easy like cotton will, and doesn't stick to things as easily. It's easier to cut, and it can be stapled, or it can even be sewn on a sewing machine. Can't quite do that with cotton. Now, why do you want to use batting? Because it has some indispensable benefits. The first is that it gives your cushion, or whatever it is that you're upholstering, a little bit of plushness. For example, if you look at this cushion here, especially from the side, you can see there's a little bit of a crown, okay? It's not a flat piece of toast kind of cushion. And that just looks nicer. It looks more luxurious. But there's some other benefits to it too. Another benefit of batting, which is always placed upon foam, is that it's going to reduce the wear to your fabric, because batting has a lot less friction than does foam. So it reduces the friction that you will have to your fabric, and also it kind of fills out how you've upholstered your piece, and it makes you look a lot better. Also, as fabric ages, it does stretch a little bit. If you don't have batting underneath there, what you'll tend to get sometimes is some waves developing. But because batting is springy, it's always ready to fill in any extra spaces, so it looks good longer. Now, here's some tools that you might need to apply batting. You could use a scissors staples. I'll show you that in a minute. You might use a curved needle here with some thread. You might also use some adhesive. We sell this at Fabric Farms Interiors, Cami 303 spray. Very good adhesive. And of course you probably need a scissors. Good fabric scissors. So most of the time people are going to use Dacron. Well, how do you apply the polyester or the Dacron batting to a piece of foam? Well, one method is what they call the sandwich method, whereby you use an adhesive like the Cami 303, and you would glue that to both sides of the foam, and then lay it onto the Dacron and trim out. So you can see here, I've already done it on one side, but I'll do so now on the other side. So you just apply your Cami spray around the edges. It helps if you have a little, maybe a little newspaper or something under there, just in case you overspray. Then you'll take your batting here, and you just simply lay your foam onto it, and then take a scissors and trim it out. like so. So some people refer to this as the sandwich method because you've got Dacron on either side making a sandwich with the foam in the middle. Now if you use this method, you will get kind of straight boxing on the edges. A lot of people like that, particularly on window seats, so this is a very common method. Some people like their cushions just a little bit more rounded, and if that's the case, you can put your Dacron all the way around your piece of foam, even on the sides. There's a few different ways to do it. Some people like to use a curved needle and they'll sew it up. The key thing is that you want the seam to be up on an edge so that it'll be hidden beneath your cording. You don't want it in the middle. Another way, and it's actually a little bit easier, is just to use a scissors staple. And so what you would do there is just bring it up, and rather than stitching it, you'll staple it. Again, you're going to staple it up on the outside edge. Now some people eject the staples because they feel that the staples could stick to you or something like that, or might scratch you or poke you. But you can see once you've got this stapled in here, it causes no troubles whatsoever. I'm rubbing my hand back and forth and I don't even feel any staples. Okay, then we want to do the sides. So what we'd have to do is cut out the top section here so it looks like that. I'll do the same thing on the other side, like so. And then we want to cut noses out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, then this piece is going to be folded up to the top. I'm going to do that on this side. First you'll take your nose and fold it over, and then take this piece and bring it to the top, like so. The key is to eventually get your staples almost end to end. So you'll bisect them until they're end to end. Now let me turn that around so you can see that. And then I'll do the same thing on this side. Gotta slide the nose inside there, lift up, staple, staple, and we keep bisecting until the staples are just about end to end, not quite maybe, something like that. Okay, again, the seam line is around the edges. If you need to, it's not usually necessary, you can even trim this out a little bit. So that would create a cushion with Dacron all the way around. The advantage of this method is you don't have to buy any cami spray. I would say the disadvantage is that it takes a little bit longer, whereas with the cami spray sandwich method, it's much quicker. Again though, if you don't like the staples, you can always do a whip stitch around here rather than do the staples. So that's batting, a very, very important, indispensable part of upholstery.